I turn on my computer. I go online.
Welcome.
And my breath catches in my chest until I hear 3 little words. You got mail.
Hi, I'm Nina Aguirre, and this is a video essay on online intimacy. Online intimacy is a practice that is quickly surging, entailing two people who pursue and maintain a romantic, intimate relationship whilst using the internet as their mediator.
Hi.
Normally, people use social media websites such as Facebook, Twitter, and Tinder to facilitate these online romances, and do so without having even met the other.
What? He couldn't possibly be the rooftop killer.
Although inherently a new avenue for finding more relationship opportunities, many are worried about the significant detrimental effects affiliated with this practice due to the lack of physicality and the integral anonymity factor that comes with the internet.
So, I don't know his name or what he does or where he lives exactly.
First, it is integral to consider the problems that present themselves in this scenario. Catherine Hertlin and Armida Stevenson describe them as the 7 A's in their 2010 study: anonymity, accessibility, affordability, approximation, acceptability, ambiguity, and accommodation, although this research will only delve into the first 5, thus presenting anonymity as a chief factor that reduces the self-disclosure in online intimacy. Hertlin and Sendak, in their 2007 study, quote, "Those engaging in online relationships can choose to present a detached attachment or absent presence, characterized by features of oppositionality, distance or immediacy, anonymity or disclosure, deception or sincerity. In one line of text, an individual can transmit confessional self-disclosure while remaining anonymous. Anonymity allows them to omit what they can. Their identity is exercised within a controlled environment as opposed to face-to-face situations.
5'10", blonde, hard to miss.
Wherein it is possible to expose the authentic self, thus making it possible for catfishing to occur where one participant disguises themselves using another conjured identity.
I'm having all of these fantasies about some man I have never even met.
Second, the ubiquitous accessibility with which the internet proffers enables easier engagement in terms of infidelity.
All right. Is it infidelity if you're involved with someone on email?
Perhaps so. The increase of the internet's modes of accessibility is the increase of modes of having an affair. Hertlin and Stevenson claim that online intimacy acts as a threat and an interference to offline intimacy. Hence, although online, its consequences occur offline. Third, the affordability factor delineates the cost-effective maintenance of the online relationship, as they don't have to pay for dinners, dates, or gifts, and neither of those are at the expense of the relationship, thus suggesting the low risk of it being publicized, as there is no physical proof of such other than the service charge to an internet service provider.
We have paid the account.
Here, the relationship is a commodity that is to be hidden. Fourth, approximation is the quality about the internet which approximates real-world situation. Thus, it invites parallelisms between fiction and fantasy. Online intimacy thus serves as an escape rather than an actuality. As it is fiction, it is thus easier to avoid and dismiss their participation in online intimacy, which ultimately detracts from its substance as an experience. Fifth is acceptability. Whether online intimacy is deemed socially acceptable is a key issue. With online pornography and other online sexual activities, society has claimed the practice is inherently inappropriate.
Have you had sex?
No, of course not. I don't even know him.
I mean cyber sex.
No.
Well, no, don't do it. 'Cause the minute you do, they lose all respect for you.
Significantly, these 5 problems illustrate fear of the unknown, fear of manipulation, and it is such that has fueled rejection towards online intimacy. Thus, through interviews I conducted myself with both digital natives and immigrants, there exists a similar resistance to the dating practice, both claiming the lack of wholeness it presents in a relationship. They argue for physicality as an integral component in fulfilling intimacy.
Touch me.
They have rejected its probability, deeming such intimacy as an illusion encouraged by the internet.
It was like magic.
And some suggested the internet's role as only beneficial regarding the initiation of the online relationship rather than its maintenance. It is interesting that both digital natives and immigrants should share this opinion. Notably, the eldest digital immigrant, rather than expressing a traditional outlook, instead voiced his openness towards online intimacy.
So I think this one is an effective way to create intimacy, to bond, and to engage, to communicate their love.
Although significantly, most of the oppositional responses are from those of whom have never participated in this online practice.
No.
Those who have indeed participated claim the emotional affect as the factor cementing its reality, and express the outdatedness of thinking otherwise.
Who cares about your approval? We don't need your approval to tell us that what we did was real.
One of them commented, "I say this coming from the perspective of someone who has had 2 separate relationships that took place entirely in an online format. However, in my relationships, I had known my partners for years before we started a romantic relationship. I knew their voices, their faces, their hopes and dreams. Those relationships were real because there was a genuine emotional connection between both parties. I laughed with them, I fought with them, and most importantly, I loved them. The only thing I never did was touch them. That single box left unchecked should not be able to invalidate everything we shared. It is its influence on them that makes it real."
Real isn't how you are made, said the skin horse. It's a thing that happens to you. When a child loves you for a long, long time, not just to play with, but really loves you, then you become real.
As the audience provides interpretative meaning to give a text its value, it is the romantic partner's emotional attachment that consolidates their relationship's existence. It is the affect that forges the intimacy. Also, there's nothing Skype and a webcam can overcome when challenged with face-to-face issues within a private setting. Therefore, the self-disclosure of one's privileged information can occur. To them, physicality and sexuality issues are minor and are easily resolved. Intimacy isn't just physical touch. For them, it goes beyond that. Simply because it isn't real for us does not mean it isn't real for them. Our inexperience and ignorance does not justify the illegitimacy of online intimacy. Ultimately, the video essay contends that online intimacy exists, and that the cynicism should not erase the legitimacy of its existence.
So cynical.
Not entirely assuming a technologically utopic stance, rather merely open to the possibility that genuine online intimacy is not contingent on physicality. It manifests itself as a relationship that exists especially to the ones involved, regardless of an outsider's approval.